The international community has made good progress to assist countries in establishing national information frameworks that foster transparency in government, build bonds of credibility between people and institutions, and facilitate citizens' participation in democratic processes through increased access to information and knowledge. However, there is not a unique ideal model of a knowledge society, as each region, nation, and community develops local, traditional, and indigenous knowledge. UNESCO therefore welcomes the initiative to develop Afro-Asian knowledge-based societies, as they have great potential to foster inter-regional and intercultural dialogue and understanding through knowledge sharing between the two continents. UNESCO is ready to engage in this initiative, number one, by supporting networking between Africa and Asia and Pacific region to raise awareness on ICT for development, including by harnessing already existing mechanisms like the Global Alliance for ICT for Development and the Global Knowledge Partnership, of which UNESCO is an active member. Contributing to raising awareness on ICT policy issues, for example, through UNESCO's Information for All program, assisting member states in formulating national information policy frameworks, and on fostering capacity building in 5 priority areas, namely information for development, information literacy, information preservation, information ethics, and information accessibility. Number 3, fostering the use of ICT for capacity building, including through accelerating the relevant parts of the Geneva Action Plan of the World Summit on the Information Society. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, building knowledge societies is not possible if we are not able to preserve the books and electronic files in which this knowledge is recorded. I am therefore particularly pleased that immediately after this conference, on 13th January here in Cairo, we will celebrate the inclusion of a very important collection of illuminated Persian manuscripts on the UNESCO's Memory of the World Register, together with our Egyptian friends. The invaluable items of this collection are kept on African continent, namely at the National Library and Archives in Cairo. But they were created on the Asian continent in a wide geographical area, spreading from Baghdad to Mosul area, from Samarkand to Bukhara, from Iran and Afghanistan to the Indian subcontinent. What better a symbol for the importance of Egypt linking the African to the Asian continent to play a key role for reviewing the Afro-Asian knowledge-based society and making significant progress in this area. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention.
عندما كنا في جامعة الإسكندرية أدرس التجارة والاقتصاد والعلوم السياسية، كان أستاذنا مقبل الجميعي يقول: وهل أدلكم على تجارة؟ هو قول جاء في الحديث النبوي، وبالتالي ما وجدت من الكلمات إلا أن نرحب بممثل قطاع التجارة ومنظمة التجارة الدولية العالمية، كلمة السيد الأستاذ عبد-الحميد ممدوح، فليتفضل.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me first to thank the Afro-Asian People's Solidarity Organization and Mr. Ahmed Hamrouche and the Arab Knowledge Management Society and Mr. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh for inviting me to represent the World Trade Organization at this distinguished gathering. This is a formal session, and Arabic is not a working language in the WTO, so therefore please forgive me for delivering my opening remarks in English. I would also like to welcome Dr. Tariq Kamil, the Minister of Communications for Egypt, on behalf of Prime Minister Nazif. The subject matter of this gathering is one of the most important issues in the minds of all nations living on the face of this planet. Knowledge is the foundation of societies. There is nothing new about this, but what is new is the extent to which this has become a reality in our lives today, in the 21st century. There is a qualitative change which we have witnessed, qualitative change in terms of the disparities between countries and levels of welfare, depending more and more on the level of knowledge in a society. There is also qualitative change in terms of the speed with which knowledge is being produced, disseminated, and applied. Wealth creation, at the end of the day, depends on knowledge. This transformation has actually led the international community to transform the multilateral trading system. International trade was governed before by the GATT, the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, which was no more than an international agreement that governed tariff reductions and merchandise trade between countries. The new realities of a globalized world and the role that knowledge has played has caused the multilateral trading system to transform itself into what we know today as the World Trade Organization. The new components, the new important additions to the multilateral trading system all have to do with knowledge. It's about the protection of knowledge in the form of intellectual property rights. We have what we call the TRIPS agreement in the WTO, the agreement on trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights, to protect knowledge and promote the investment in research and development and the production of more knowledge for more welfare for our societies. And the other addition was the General Agreement on Trade and Services, which was a response to the paradigm shift of the service economy. We have always known services as government functions performed by public utility organizations, so often monopolies. And I think Dr. Tariq Kamil would testify to this transformation in a sector like telecommunications, where we moved from the old paradigm of the public utility government function model to the new private sector-led competitive market structure. All this required a new international trade system. It is all motivated and stimulated by knowledge. The World Trade Organization is witnessing the new realities in the creation of wealth and the exchange of trade opportunities in areas that are nourished by knowledge and information, whether in the form of products, so often in the form of services, be it professional services, or in the form of the means of transforming those products into tradable components in various transactions. And there we look at the technology that allowed us to use telecommunications and computer means in developing more products and transmitting those products around the world in speeds that were never dreamt of before.